But what I wanted to say, we spent really a lot of time and a lot of work in analyzing and finding cheats. We even buy cheats ourselves.
So yeah, guys, this is CPO. One of the actors in VeryBadSCAV series became a CPO, and he's gonna do an interview with the caster guy. He's one of the devs. He got some news for us, which is kind of disappointing. It's the same thing, but got delayed. But anyways, let's check it out.
Proven already in literally just a couple of games how exciting Arena is and is going to be as it gets more and more popular, as more people find the new game mode. But right now, we have a Q&A, and we have selected, I say we, I was actually nothing to do with this, but the developers have selected 10 questions from the community, from all of the forums and things like that. They've requested feedback, and we have 10 questions that are going to be fielded to Yarrow now. And so I'm going to read them pretty much exactly as they're written, because I want this to, this is from the community, okay? This isn't from me.
But give me a second before we start.
Yeah,
I want to say hello to the development team, the guys who right now are preparing the next patch. In the roadmap, it was mentioned it's going to be this month, but we have to move it for the start of the next. And the guys right now, it's a holiday in Russia and holiday everywhere, but they are preparing the patch, fighting with bugs, and I would just want to say hello to them, and that's it.
Yeah, so it's this part. I knew this was gonna happen. It's because June update. So it was kind of obvious they're gonna delay it, but like, you know. Anyways, yeah, they're delaying it. Yep.
Come on, make some noise.
And more interesting part is that it's all PVE related updates. They did the armor system adjustments way faster than they're supposed to do the other stuffs. So it even feels like they tried to make it look good, and then they did whatever they want first, and then they're delaying it. That's my opinion. Your opinion, or the general opinion, or the objective opinion will be different. But anyways.
Do we have any idea when 1.0 is coming out? And is it still planned for all of the maps to be unified, or is that something that's going to happen at a later date?
That's difficult questions. I surely have the idea when the release is going on, but an honor to introduce the date is, of course, Nikita's. So
I'll spoil a little bit. TwitchCon, there's another TwitchCon on November, was it? And then at that point, they are sponsoring that TwitchCon, which is super big, and they're gonna announce the release date then.
We'll do it when, I don't know. It's a mystery for every one of us, so we'll just need to wait for Nikita's decision.
Okay, cryptic, but hopeful.
Yeah,
I like that, optimistic.
Yeah, about maps. So they're not going to be unified in a short period of time, so the next...
My bad, TwitchCon San Diego is September 20 to 22nd. They will be sponsoring TwitchCon.
Patch, we are preparing the feature where you will be able to travel between the locations, and first of all, in the start of the wipe is going to be like quite a hardcore event for players who know Tarkov really well, and it would be a challenge to finish it. It will have special achievement, but after that, after the end of the event, it will stay in the game, and you will be able to travel through the all maps, and that's how I think it's going to be on the release also.
Okay. Thank you very much. Question number 2.
Before that, travel around the maps. I'll show you guys quickly what he's talking about. There was like a teaser from Nikita. There we go. You can see the image. Transfer to Streets of Tarkov, 8k rubles. Extraction, 4k rubles. Move items to stash. So it was only BTR available. Now they're gonna make it to the taxis too, or the car extractions. Primorsky taxi. Alright.
I'm saying it like it's the game show again. Sorry, I just got into the Jeopardy earlier. Are we ever going to see bosses do actual patrols and missions of their own, which maybe could be directly tied to what gear and loot they carry, instead of standing around in the same places for the most part?
Of course, yes. We have like big roadmap of AE development and bosses and all the bots and scavs and all you see in the game. If we go a bit in depth, works in like they have layers of behavior, and layers of how they react on different situations. For example, grenades thrown, contact, or maybe they're hiding somewhere, or maybe they're finding loot. And in the next patch, which is coming next week, we are going to add new layers for mostly PMC and PVE mode, because it's quite popular right now. But after that, of course, we are going to introduce these new layers and these new behaviors of bots and, of course, of bosses to the whole game. And yeah, we will continue to improve and to make them more like people and more realistic and, yeah, more fun to play with them.
That is
okay, that's good actually.
It's incredibly cool.
He does talk about PVE AI update they promised for actually where did the image go? It was supposed to happen on 3rd patch of June, PVE AI improvements, but they're gonna do it next month, next week, which is gonna be like July 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And like overall AIs will be done too. But I think PVE AI, PMC AI update is on next week.
I can't even imagine the amount of work that goes into creating AI that are that complex.
Yes, it's a quite interesting process of developing them, because it's really easy to make like imbalanced bots which will be impossible to beat, and it's really easy to make them like in shooting range, so it's really easy to play with them. But the main point of what we are trying to do is a balance of hardcore mechanics and the players who are new to the game and who want just to loot and to find some fun with them. So yeah, we are balancing them like every day.
But that is a tough mission. Are we going to get more freedom to do missions with weapons and gear that we want? Because for the first 45 levels or so, you kind of have to run around with bolties and shotguns, which makes getting the gear kind of redundant, because by the time you're done with missions and you can use the gear that you've earned, some players experience quite a lot of burnout.
I'm literally
that's a question that. Because we are always, as I said, we are always trying to find a balance between hardcore and fun, and the quests and like Jagger quest line. We know we are of course collecting all the feedback from players, and we change quests and rewards for the quests like every big patch. But we still think that if a game have a challenge, if it have something that you don't like to do, the reward when you finish it, it's like a great emotion, and it gives you fun of and motivation to play more. That's why, of course, we are going to change some of the quests, but hardcore quests and quests that you don't like, maybe in some point, will still in game, because they make Tarkov.
Yeah, 100%. That makes
so
sense.
No.
Is the game
basically
ever
no,
going to be
in the long way.
optimized a bit better for the direction of content creation friendly? Or to make it a bit friendlier for content creators, where
like,
the game...
I mean, like, I'm a content creator, so I care about it, but I don't know why that's in a community question. It's such a weird question. Like, don't you guys think so? Like, why would you ask that in the place where every player wants to ask questions? It's like the worst question. I don't know, man. It almost sounds like... No, it depends on the question. It almost sounds like they want... So they picked these questions. So BSG picked these questions, so they want people to make content creation to promote themselves freely. It's, in my opinion, it sounds like that. Am I being too negative? I don't like it though. The questions until now was super good, but this question, let's listen to it till the end. Maybe I'm guessing too quick.
Looks a little bit higher quality while still remaining good visually, right? So finding that balance.
You know, the FPS and the performance of the game client is one of our top priorities. It's like every update, every patch, we are trying to do something with it to allow more players, with lower end PCs play our game. And that's not only in case of streaming or for content creators, but for everyone. Performance is like one of the best priorities in gaining fun from gameplay. So yeah, in the summer patch and of course on release, we are planning a lot features and a lot of technical stuff related to performance. Of course, we are planning to update to Unity 2022 this year. And yeah, I think we will gain like 10 to 15% of performance till the release of the game.
Okay.
Okay, so Unity 2022 update this year, and then it's gonna get like 10 to 15% performance upgrade. So basically the question was, will we have a performance upgrade? And yes, that's the whole question and the answer. But why is there all of a sudden content creation freaking stuck in between that? I don't know about that. Maybe one of the content creators made this question. It's so weird that I don't know. It's so freaking weird, that one. I don't like it. But anyways.
This is the 5th question. Yeah. Is the SCAV player mechanic ever going to get reworked so that they don't spawn early in the match? So even in the raid series, SCAVs show up after PMCs and well after they made a lot of noise, and they're not exactly inside the perimeter, the third party, the shootout, and essentially they come from behind and flanks.
The mechanic of how scavs spawn and how players scavs are playing differs in the life cycle of Vibe, and we also change it sometimes for events or when we want to see some another type of info that we're getting from our raid statistics, and also Scav Life DLC after the release of EFT is going to introduce a new vision of Scav gameplay.
Okay, again, I'm sorry I'm putting some negative input, but I don't even understand the question. What was he saying? Scav spawning later in raid? Was that even a question? And then this guy answers with the, Scav, and then I think the conclusion is we're preparing for a Scav Life DLC. Be prepared for that. I mean, Nikita did say it's gonna be free, which I don't know if we should believe anymore because he said DLC is gonna be free, but he removed that and then put it back on. But anyways, it sounds like they just want to, exaggerate the part about Scav Life DLC, which I was excited about. I'm still okay-ish about it. But anyways, yeah, I think that was the conclusion. What was this question? What is this question even? I don't get it.
I want to make this clear again for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning. These questions were taken from the Tarkov community. The devs have made it really clear that they care a ton about community feedback, and so these aren't my questions.
Okay, I'm gonna mention it real quick. They picked up the questions, but answers are like just whatever they want to say. It's not the question they focused on. They just randomly pick questions which is related to what they wanted to answer. It feels like that.
They get the ability, nearly, to throw anything on the ground without it being destroyed, like it used to be before the fight with RMTers started.
Yes, we're thinking about that. As I said before, it's a balance, and always fight with cheaters and with all the guys who are trying to illegally make money from the game is like, what can I say? We would be happy as developers to only work on features and adding as a content for legit players. But yeah, it's part of our work. We have to do something with, and we have to do some restrictions, of course. We are always working on improvement, the anti-cheat and detections for RMT players. And it's getting better, and while it's getting better, we are lowering the restrictions, and of course we will try to lower them as much as possible.
Okay.
What?
Is anything...
what? So he's fighting... What? He's fighting cheaters. Okay. So he will be working on less restrictions for the players. Okay, that's it, right?
Being done about cheaters. I would like to know if the game is going to go back to focusing on players and fun, and you kind of mentioned this before, but instead of how to prevent cheaters and the real money traders to thrive at the expense of the community and player base.
Yeah, of course, as you can see, as I said before, and as you can see, PVE mode is quite popular, and of course, the part of its popularity is there's no other players, and means no other cheaters. But what I wanted to say, we spend really a lot of time and a lot of work in analyzing and finding cheats. We even buy cheats ourselves to understand how they work.
Funny
and
part.
we like close some holes in the game code, like every wipe, and not even every wipe, every small update. But you know, you cannot like deal with them at all. There's like wars that won't finish whenever. But yeah, we of course mostly thinking about the fun gaining from gameplay, and the ability for players to have like no restrictions and to free their hands. But we have to. We want our game. We still want PvP as a main part of our game, and that's why we will never finish fighting cheaters. And of course, some restrictions will stay, but we will try to make them as low as possible, as I said.
Yeah.
So basically, there's like no answer on this, but they're just basically saying that I know we're restricting things because of the RM tiers and cheaters, for instance, for found and raid system, but we'll try to reduce the restrictions, and they're fighting cheaters by buying the cheats and dissecting it or trying it out. Sounds like that. It's kind of making it really long because maybe it's second language English. Like, yeah, like nothing new.
I mean, what else can you do, right?
Yeah.
It is tough.
Like,
Do we have a...
I mean, it's good to mention an important thing over and over again, but they picked these questions and then answering in the things that people all know or the bag way. I don't know. Yeah.
rough idea about what direction Tarkov is heading with all the audio changes being made? So a lot of community members are saying that the Oculus audio...
It's not the case. If you are in the building or if you are somewhere in the high ground and the sound is in the low ground, you cannot directly understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And we are mostly creating our understanding and our system to be again in the balance of realism and gameplay. And of course, I know that there are a lot of issues with audio, and we are like changing stuff and also implementing new stuff. But I think in the end, in the release, we will find the way to introduce like new in each case and new for every player experience of immersive audio in shooters.
Honestly, I can't believe how hard you guys work to make sure it's all so realistic, but then finding that balance.
But that's the best work in my life, so I cannot like complain about it.
Are there any plans to rework?
Why does it feel like he's like trying to like cover the part that they're working hard, but they're not getting tortured? They're like, oh, but my workplace is the best place.
Other maps. Like, so just for context, Factory, the very first map ever in Tarkov, has been remastered. You can actually play it in the land zone over there if you do want to check that out. But we have a question saying, are you going to...
I'll quickly show you guys what he's talking about. We have teasers from Nikita already here. So they reskinned some of them and then made the whole map to be in length. And the silos has been substituted into some reactors. Yep, you can see that. It's gonna be very likely like that. People are playing it right now, it seems.
To do that with other maps as well?
Surely we do. Some updates and some new like territories of locations may even come with in-game events. But big updates and big like remastering of locations are also planned. I won't announce again which one is the next, because the next is the factory. You can try it here, and you will be able to try it soon when the patch is coming this August.
Okay.
Okay, this is the last question, which I'm sad about. We've gotten through this too quickly. I was enjoying this, Yarrow. While we do have estimates for all the updates till wipe, what can we expect for the rest of the year in terms of technical and quality of life improvements? We saw recently a lot of good changes were made to make the game more appealing. Is it something that Battlestate Games is still considering prioritizing in the near future?
Yeah, I think we are mostly concentrated on the stuff we presented at the roadmap in case of quality of life.
I quickly want to mention something though. They said like it has been giving some good changes, which is just reverting the changes they had, lowering the momentum, inertia, and then lowering the founder rate restriction, lowering the hiring the boss spawns. That's why people got happy after the drama. Hiring the cards, like I don't.
In case of technical stuff, it's of course my priority number one is Unity version upgrade. So the engine will allow us to do many things in case of performance and in case of working with our inventories. So we are preparing an ability to work with your hideout and with your inventory while loading into raid. That's what was asked by community for many years. And also all the stuff which was included in the roadmap, we mostly prioritized by polls and by feedbacks collected from with our community managers.
So wait. QoL features while you're loading in, you can manage your hideout and stash. And then also we're gonna have a poll for if they are gonna take the feedback or not. That's like a second question, but they're gonna do a polling system in the game.
From the community, from what quality of life people want, we try to do them firstly. So yeah, there will be a lot this year. But what I wanted to say is that like the core team, the main guys are preparing the release content. We already have a lot of it done, but there's still like huge story over it, and we have to deal with it in a short time. So yeah, there's not going to be like a lot features, like game-changing features this new year, because we will be concentrating on preparing the release. But there's still going to be a lot of events and fun this year in EFT, and yeah, we are happy to have you all playing EFT, and yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
What I can understand from this whole interview is that they're gonna delay the updates they promised, which was kind of obvious because they did too many promises for June. Even though they did armor system updates, they didn't focus on PVE at all because they don't want PVE that much. They literally mentioned they want to focus on PvP more, obviously, because it's. But I think PVE is selling more right now. But anyways, what I want to mention is that got delayed. And another thing is that nothing else much. Like it's all the things we already know of from previous updates, such as full release or travel around the map. Well, they did admit they buy cheat today. Did they say that before? Maybe they did, but for me, it's first time they buy cheat and then they dissect it or use it. They talked about that, and then all the other stuff they're just gonna say. They just said they're gonna improve it. 2022 Unity update this year, which they've been mentioning about that from like ages ago. Keep on mentioning, not really realizing it. And the QoL part, I get it, they're trying, but they mentioned about locking freaking one box on a stash so it doesn't move around whenever you auto sort. We've been asking that from ages ago, but they never done it. Or like there's so many QoLs they can do, but they don't really do it. But they're saying like they're gonna do it this time. I hope they actually do it. So yeah. Actually there's a TLDR version on their here. Let's read it super quick. Here. Adjustments to the Escape from Tarkov update schedule 0.14.9.5, which was planned to be on June 2024, has been moved to early July 2024 because of the holidays they have, which I don't know, isn't it like one of the obvious things they need to consider? List of changes and fixes and improvements that will be included in the patch 0.14.9.5 will be ability to run PVE mode on local PC for solo players without the need for server queue, which is going to be on July, not next week. Next week change is the only PVE PMC AI they talked about. QoL changes, which they don't mention it really. And then the in-game poll system, new in-game questline nostalgia for the guys to get the, you know, EOD item, was it? I don't exactly remember. Was it the Unheard? The transmitter thing? And then item wish lists mechanics. And then compensation for successful cheater reports. That wasn't in the roadmap. And then ability to reset PVE characters profile. Well, your manual wipe because there's no wipe in PVE. And then new PMC outfits for Wreckman, which is from Arena to Arena to actual Tarkov, I think. Improvements to the AI PMC behavior in PVE mode. They promised this gonna be next week. So I think a lot of people will enjoy that part, but yeah, it's a bit delayed. Within 1 to 2 weeks after the game infrastructure is stabilized and proven ready, PVE mode will become available for purchase for owners of all game editions. So they're not promising that when it's gonna happen. It might be not even July, it sounds like. Which is kind of weird. I think people will buy it even though right now, if they just release it, they don't really care about the stabilization that much. Or maybe just they wanna reduce the most backlash. So yeah, if you guys like these kind of news contents, please leave a like. Say bye YouTube guys. If you want to check me out on live stream, check out VeryBadSCAV, bio link, Twitch and YouTube stream. And put on the notification button on for the quickest upload. And I'll see you in the next video guys. Goodbye.